Hello. So last week we looked at Elijah on our youth Zoom when we heard God speaking to him up a mountain in a whisper. Well, what I think is so exciting and wonderful about our God is that he continues to speak to us, and he wants to. Jesus came to earth to die for us, that we might be reconciled with God, and that isn't just a distant thing in heaven, but we're reconciled with God now, so that we can be in relationship with God now, so that we can hear from God and speak to God now. And these next few weeks, whilst we're away, I want us just to look at a few different things on these videos about what it means to hear from God, and different ways that we can connect with God and use our time to pray with him in his presence. The first thing I want to say is, like any relationship, it starts with time. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's almost as if we need to train our ear to hear God speak. So don't give up straight away is what I'm trying to say, but keep persevering, keep spending time with God, and keep listening to his voice, or listening out for his voice and what he might be saying. So that's my intro into what these 3 videos are kind of going to be like. So the first way we're going to look at how we can engage with God is through creativity. So I think sometimes, I know I can, and perhaps some of us can think of prayer as something that is maybe a little bit boring, something that happens, just, in the quietness, in silence. It might not be dynamic, it might not be fun. But I want to encourage you that it doesn't have to be like that at all. And actually, one of the ways that I really love to pray and engage with God is creatively. So I love to draw my prayers, or sketch my prayers, or paint my prayers. It often actually does mean that I spend longer doing it and maybe just focusing on one thing. But say I'm praying for God's insight into a situation, or God's vision, or something like that. I might draw a light bulb just as I'm thinking about this want that I have, or this prayer that I have. I might draw a light bulb, like a light bulb coming on, like a light bulb moment. And so I kind of used my prayers, the thoughts that I have, the prayers I want to say, and I draw them, or I paint them, and so I'm being creative with them. In Romans 8 verses 26 to 27, it says, "The Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. And he who searches our hearts knows the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for God's people in accordance with the will of God." So it's okay to not always have the words. It's okay to not always just want to sit down and speak some words or write some words. We can draw them, and God knows what's on our hearts through the Spirit, and the Spirit can intercede for us. So creativity and drawing, if you like to do that, is a great way that you can engage with God if you want to do it like that. But this video really is about hearing from God. And I started off by talking about different ways we can pray, because hearing from God, first of all, we need to be in his presence. We need to take ourselves to him. We need to take time out to be with him, and a great way to do this is through prayer. So choose to spend time with God in this way. But make sure whilst you do this that you're also taking time to listen. As you pray about something, and if you write that prayer, or if you paint that prayer, perhaps just take a time just to stop and just wait and see if God might be speaking into that situation. And yes, it takes time, and yes, you probably will need to wait, but it can be creative, it can be fun. So this week, perhaps just enjoy exploring what creative prayer might look like for you, and perhaps just find different ways of trying to engage with God in this way, but always remembering to take that moment just to stop and to spend time in God's presence, and just wait and see if you might hear his voice. So that's it from me, and I'll see you next week for part 2.